Let's go live. And here we go. Just gonna check on another account here. We'll see. How's everybody doing today? Oh, look at that. Just like that. We'll say hi even. I'll even type a greeting message. Hello and welcome to the stream. Okay. That all looks good. There, shut that down for now. Alright, so hope everyone's doing good. If you're watching this live or watching this as a replay, whatever's best for you. I'm just gonna arrange my left-hand screen here. Let's do a Lego van. Alright, where do we want to start on this thing here? Let's take the top off. Okay. So it looks like usual, but a minute behind or so. What you guys are seeing from what's live. So I need everyone who's viewing and subscribing to let me know, what should we do? I'm not happy with YouTube. Not at all. Not happy at all with YouTube. Now, I have some people that... Oh, hold on here. Got a warning thing here. Let's see what it's saying. I'm just gonna close that. Weird. It just decided to get all silly on me there. My apologies. A warning came up about the bitrate. Something I'm always having to fiddle with. So, come on, get off there, you bugger. I'm mad at YouTube. I'm really, as you can tell, not impressed with it, not wanting to stick around on YouTube. So, what should I do? What do you guys think I should be doing? Should I stick around? Is there a better, is there honestly a better platform though that I can stream on and put videos on, connect with everybody? I really don't know. What do you guys think? I need your suggestions and your input. Completely up to you guys. There we go. That door is finally off. There's this one I heard about, I guess it'd be a couple years back, called Full 30. You guys might have heard of that. But, I don't know. Some people tried to get in with that Full 30 and it never really seemed to go anywhere. Just not happy with YouTube, honestly. There's just a bunch of reasons, but the long and short of it is, I'm just not happy with everything to do with YouTube. Now, maybe you guys are happy with YouTube and so on. That's awesome. I'm not. Now, you take people like Daniel. Holy cow. That guy, he's been on fire lately, commenting on all kinds of videos. He made me feel bad. Here I was ignoring my channel and I, silly me, finally caught up on comments today. But, guy has been commenting and watching videos, and so finally got some recognition for his hard work. And everyone else that watches the content and everything, you know? Even if you're not subscribed and you're viewing on a regular basis, that's awesome. Oh, that went flying. Now, I do have some good news. Many of you will know, and as you can see, it's a very wonky time to have a live stream going, but I don't always sleep regularly. I have a lot of issues with my neck and back being all buggered up, and I finally have some specialists, some neurologists that are helping me out doing tests and stuff, and maybe one day they'll do some surgeries or something, make things a lot better. Oh, look at that. 2 concurrent viewers. That's just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So for anyone that's just not quite sure what's going on here, hey, how's it going? I'm just basically rambling into a microphone here. First time being on in a while, and just not happy with YouTube and looking for some direction here. Do I keep going on the platform? Do I find a new platform? I don't know. Just lost right now. But there are good things going on. I've got all kinds of friends from around the world that I've met on here, so there's lots of positive to outweigh the negatives of the platform, that's for sure. But just disassembling this object here. There we go. Yay! I took apart the Legos. Cool, cool. Let's see what happens now. Oh, that. Sure, let's go back to the main menu. Oh, good, good, good. What were you working on? Were you doing another cooking one, or were you doing outdoors? I've been so far behind. I don't know where anybody's channel is at lately. These are awesome. Polar Pop. Only 79 cents. And they're in this cool foam container, so it keeps it cold. Well, I'm glad that I got you at a good time. And see, here's the best thing about me not being able to sleep regularly, is I can be up when other people around the world are up. So yeah, there's many, many positives to all the negatives of this platform, that's for sure. That's funny. Yay. Oh, excellent. Excellent. Far from a pro, that's for sure, but I love cooking. Absolutely love cooking. Let's see here, I'll start at the bow. Oh, okay, 7:30 p.m. And right now it is 3:30. Okay, cool. That's quite the time difference. Just a few hours. Oh, well that's broken. We'll just launch that over there for now. So what's, oh goodness. Goodbye pieces. So what do you think, Ariella? Should I keep going with the platform? Should I stay on YouTube? Is there a better one out there? I don't know. I'm lost, and I don't want to give up, but I don't want to keep going either. Kind of halfway in the middle. That's the best way to describe it. That's noisy. Let me see here if I'm gonna turn that down a bit. Maybe that'll help. Oh, maybe. I want to leave that in the middle. Just adjust the master volume here. Oh, wow. I love Guinness. Oh, that is such a good beer. You know, maybe not everybody has the same opinion as me, but I love Guinness. Absolutely love it. Very nice. This Titanic is very noisy. What a noisy, noisy thing. There, let's launch some lifeboats off of it. So now, what is your favorite beer? I can't remember if we had established that before or not. I know that we were talking about Stella, because I believe that you had cracked open a Stella for the first time a while back. But for me, let's see here. I don't drink much anymore, but Guinness is one of my all-time favorites. I was 2008? Yeah, it was summer 2008. Right? That's just it. It's you want to try and get into a platform that is going to compare or anything. It's not going to be free at all. Exactly. But yeah, so summer 2008, I was in England and just got off the plane basically and sat down at a pub and had fish and chips on newspaper with Guinness. Oh, that was good. It wasn't Ireland, but it was close enough for the Guinness. It was tasty. Man, this Titanic is noisy. What a noisy, noisy ship. Just keep sending pieces into the sea here. I think it was just before you connected. There's a platform that I had briefly mentioned called Full 30 that it'd be a couple years back a channel was trying out, and I don't know, it seemed alright, but nobody seemed to want to transition to Full 30, so is it any good anyway? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I'm just at a point here that as much as sorry, jumping back and forth because the chat and everything is a little bit behind, of course. MGD is an excellent beer. If you've had a chance to try the Miller's Genuine Draft, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm at a point that I'd rather much just give up. I don't know, but I don't want to at the same time. Just not happy with YouTube, and maybe I'm just gonna break up with YouTube. I don't know. Tear this thing apart here. Now Sapporo, I don't know if I've tried Sapporo, because that one, if I remember right, it's Japanese beer, but it's brewed all around the world. But Sapporo is supposed to be a really good one. Oh, it's starting to sink. Oh yeah, how did that go with doing Facebook ads? Did you get much for good results, or does it seem like it's worthwhile? Because honestly, trying to just grind away on YouTube isn't working, that's for sure. Not for me. I mean, like, I don't know, there's some people that it seems to be magical for them, but I don't know. There's got to be something more, and maybe trying to get out there cross-platform, maybe that's the way to do it. Okay, okay. And that's fine. Yeah, I'm thinking that cross-platform is the way to go. Seem like that. I've heard some people, sorry, my apologies if this thing is too noisy. Oh, $40, that's not too bad then. That's not an arm and a leg, honestly. I've heard some people where they say you want to go, Instagram, you want to get out on all these different platforms and just, basically cross anything, even if you do have like maybe a business or something as well, and you want to get everything to cross as much as possible to get as much exposure, not just with YouTube, not just with your business, kind of integrate everything. And maybe that's the magic, maybe that's the magic wand that we all need. Wow, that's a really good result. Wow. See, and maybe that's something I've got to look into is maybe tough it out, stick it out with YouTube, but look at something like that then. It might just be the magic wand I need, that's for sure. It's just, I don't know. Maybe it's foolish of me to be mad at YouTube, it's just the way I feel, but is there honestly anything better, right? This thing is so noisy. Why don't we back out of this one? Right. Yeah, not much improvement though, right? Interesting. I don't know, like I've got Facebook, I've got Instagram, like I've got I don't know, it's more of just person to person. I got WhatsApp on my phone, uh Snapchat, like I don't know, I I don't spend a lot of time on social media. If I'm not outside trying to hike around, walk around, try and get out, I'm maybe playing some video games, but not much for social media. Doesn't really interest me. Let's do a toaster instead. Hmm. I should do this. I'll turn that master volume down a bit. Well, and that's just it. So, if you're not friendly with the algorithm or the algorithm doesn't pick you up, then what? It's right? It's I don't know. It's like, you know, we could beg all day long, algorithm, please promote my video, but if it skips over you, that's basically it. Yeah, Walt and I, boy, have we had some conversations about how to how to fix the YouTube, or how to improve it, and little things. And there's been many times that we would look at things, trends and everything like that, and say, okay, how did this period affect this, or you know, anything to do with the numbers, looking at Socialblade, looking all over YouTube Studio, and some of that information in YouTube Studio, you've got to dig and dig and dig, and if you don't do just the right, um, what do they call that? Anyhow, where you get all the information from on there, it changes your graphs and your numbers, and you've got numbers going up on one side of a graph, but then different numbers on the other side. Boy, it can be a little foolish, that's for sure. That is for sure. Right. Yeah, so instead of just relying on just the platform itself, trying to get more like with the Facebook or anything else like that. Almost like if you were to go and put an ad in a newspaper or something. Okay, interesting. Well, maybe you found the secret formula because I know that everything that I've been doing, it's not working. And I've tried all these recommendations from people. They say, the banners and everything, like, so when you open up your page and you see the banner looks a certain way on mobile, on desktop, on tablet, on TV, all these little tricks that everyone's saying, this will make your channel do well. I've even done it for my other channel, which is dead in the water. It is absolutely toast. But, yeah, maybe you've tickled the pickle of YouTube and it's finally going to give you some results. A 50% increase. That's something to write home about, that's for sure. That's decent. That's really cool. Yeah, and so you want to get some big sponsors even, you've got to be something big. So unless you just have a magic wand, how are you going to get to this big influencer position? Because then they'll listen to you. Then you can basically just snap your fingers and they'll do anything you want. Yeah, it's tough, and just trying to grow organically is it seems impossible, honestly. I don't know. Maybe it's like a lottery. You just get lucky or something, but luck is not on my side. That's for sure. Well, I'm glad that you actually got some good results with that. That's really good news, honestly. Very good news. Let's just check this piece here. That is very cool. So, I think you might have just been joining when I was explaining that I've got some good results with the docs. I've got a few doctors, like my regular doctor and some specialists in that, and they're running some tests and everything, testing nerves, and hopefully, hopefully they'll find an area that's really not doing well, and they'll unmess it up. They'll be able to repair me or something. So I could have some good news aloft, and maybe I could be more back to normal before before we know it. But that's all. Cross your fingers. Right, yeah. So you get things like you say not just the tips there, but like you're mentioning the S for S, the sub for subs for people that don't know that. It's that's just it, isn't it? Right? Like you try and you grow and you try and network with other people, but it almost like it just I don't know, just shoots you right down, right? Oh, isn't that so true? Isn't that so true? Because, like I remember back in the day, this one person was talking about how she grows her channel. She would say, she would go and she would watch somebody's, let's say 3 videos or whatever, and just, she would move from person to person doing that, and I guess it grew her channel very well. But in the end, she probably shot herself in the foot. I don't know. It's, to me, it seems to be almost a negative growth thing. At first, it seems good. You seem to be growing, but then you either just level out or you start losing after a bit because it seems a lot of those sub for sub, they either just stop watching or they actually even unsub. So even though you did have a subscriber, it's basically like they were never even there. Like looking at the long term numbers. But you know, going with these Facebook ads or something, or advertising. I guess Instagram's pretty similar. Maybe Twitter or something. I don't know. Like I don't know enough about this social media and what people are really into, what they're watching and stuff. I see a lot of people now. They're doing these device promotions. They're look at my look at my pen I just got on Amazon, and a lot of these things don't seem to be that great that they're promoting. It's I don't know, to me at least, this is just my opinion, right? But it's like they're taking a wheel and they're trying to tell you it's the best wheel they've ever had, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just not seeing the big picture of it, but these people that are doing these weird review promotion things on their channel, especially if let's say like they're an outdoor channel like myself or well many of the people in our circles, right? And they're promoting some weird electronic product. To me, I don't know. It doesn't seem doesn't seem to be congruent, but I could be wrong. I could be absolutely wrong. Oh, interesting. So, like, if you put a URL in a post on Instagram, and my apologies if I'm way behind or if this isn't making sense to anybody, I'm reading the chat here as it pops up. But if you put a URL on Instagram, people can't just click on that? Because I remember somebody saying that now. Yankees Outdoor Adventures was mentioning something about Instagram and some kind of issue with trying to promote on there, or the posts with the links and everything. That's very interesting. Weird. Very weird. Sorry. My apologies to anyone that's... That part's not making any sense. Flopping that around while I'm doing some thinking there. I really don't know what else for social media is any good though. I really don't. Let's grab this piece over here, or move over a bit even. Oh, yeah, and there's nothing that, like, here we've got United States connected right to Canada, and that can really make a big difference in markets and everything too, of course, right? So now, is there, I don't know, like, what about, like, collaborations with creators and everything like that? Like, you don't even have to do it in person, honestly, but if you were to do collaborations with another creator where you're each contributing to a video or making a series or something like that, do you think that could be beneficial? You know, I've tried so many things myself and seen so many other people try so hard, and it's just, I don't know, it just seems like the algorithm's constantly passing us by, right? It's very silly, that's for sure. And maybe I've just run out of steam or something, right? Oh wow. So this must be like you're saying with Instagram here. They got to go right back to the profile and then they get the channel link. Yeah. So where with Facebook or I don't know, let's say social media X, if you're promoting on there, they can just click right on it and they can find your YouTube channel immediately then. And if I remember right, on Facebook you can actually embed videos from YouTube to your Facebook posts and your Facebook story and so on, I think. So that's definitely more congruent and a lot better for your channel then. That's for sure. Interesting. Look at me getting all educated on the social media front. That's cool. The more you know. Oh goodness. Throwing that circuit board everywhere. Well, that'd be very cool if you came over yonder here. There's lots of room here in Canada. You know, second largest country in the world, and we've only got like, out of all the populated countries in the world, we're like number 190 as far as density and that goes. Interesting. Very interesting. Need to be somewhere like here or Europe. Well, I'll tell you what, you're welcome to come be my neighbor. That'd be cool. But yeah, and that makes sense because anywhere, like, you look at East Asia south, it's so spread out. You're just surrounded by water, whether you're looking at Indonesia or New Zealand, anywhere in that whole, let's say, corner of the world there. Everything's just so isolated and remote. But yet, it's almost like everything is, oh, and Twitter as well. Very cool. You can do the embedding on Facebook or Twitter. I like that. Okay. Now look at me with my brain jumping all over the place. Well, and of course with your love for the outdoors, it's so amazing here. You know, like where I'm at right now, I'm a few hours from the Rocky Mountains, but even here there's some very beautiful scenery, but start heading west, oh, it is so nice. I love the Rocky Mountains. That's where I'd ultimately love to be is, you know, living somewhere in some cabin or something in the woods. That would be cool. Very cool. My apologies to anyone that's watching a replay here and is completely lost. Here I am playing this game, taking things apart, talking about random YouTube stuff, but it's just the way the cookie crumbles, right? Getting my brain all educated here. Ariella filling me in on all the inside info. Get that out. Now, if you wanted to get into like, and I know China's very strange with that. It seems to only be like the large urban centers in China even have internet, access, or it's just there's very weird government and economy there. But I don't know, maybe move China aside. But what about getting into like Japan, Korea, well, South Korea, and so on? How would that be? Would that be something viable? Oh, birch. Birch is my favorite tree. When I owned a house, there was this nice, huge birch tree in the backyard. Unfortunately, it wasn't well taken care of by the previous owner. Had to take that one down. And there was a big birch tree in the front that's likely still there to this day, about 60 feet tall way back when. Very cool tree. Big, I don't know, you call it hanging birch or however. It's very cool. Rattle that loose there. There we go. Get the crumb tray off. Yeah, I was just wondering there because you mentioned getting into somewhere in the Asian market. Somewhere like maybe Japan or South Korea or something. Maybe even Vietnam. That'd be pretty cool. I just don't know about their enough about their language and really anything. I don't know enough of that to have any input. That's for sure. See if I can get the rest of this here. Right, and so then you would have to basically become fluent in their language in order to be viable in that particular, whether Japan or whatever it is, in order to actually take off, right? Where being English is already, like you say, like, whether North America or Europe, you would have a foothold in so many countries then, or more countries at least. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, it's a pickle, you try and make something of this YouTube thing, and I don't know, like for me, just a hobby on my end. I'm not looking at it from a monetary point of view, but I'm just so, trampled underfoot that I just don't really see a point in carrying on anymore. I really don't. It's sad, and I don't know, it just maybe it's just the way it is. Maybe there's too many people doing the exact same thing as me, but it sure doesn't seem like much of a party anymore, that's for sure. It's not just kind of lost its fizzle. Okay, yeah. So then if you try, like you say, you can speak Indonesian, and I think you lived there for some time or something, if I remember right. So yeah, so then you would only have just that particular group, whether in their home country or not, but then they'd be interested. Then that would really bottleneck you. It'd really limit you. Hmm. And you don't want to be pigeonholed, that's for sure. You want to have something that's going to give you more variety and so on. Interesting. It's a pickle, that's for sure. But yeah, I'm not even trying to get rich or anything on this platform. I just, you know, enjoy sharing my knowledge and skills and my passion for the outdoors and stuff, and you know, it's just feels so, I don't know, not even considered by the algorithm, not even like it's even knowing I'm here, right? Yeah, lots of sub for subs on YouTube, right? And my friend actually said something really cool yesterday. She said, "Why not just make your own?" And it's like that would actually be really cool, just to make my own platform. Have basic set of rules. Rule A, B, C. They apply to everybody. Here, come. Put your thing on here. Here's your requirements to make money for advertising and everything. Try and make it as simple as possible and as fair as possible, and make it so everybody has a chance, right? Oh, there we go. Yay. Yeah, and it seems like and I don't know, like I can't see in my exact numbers how many are sub for subs, right? But it sure doesn't seem like a party to me, that's for sure. You know, it seems like there's something up with YouTube, that's for sure. Let's see here. Can we close that? Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, I think that's exactly it. There's too many sub for subs on YouTube. That's the truth. Oh, interesting. Not a lot of fellow like countrymen, I guess. Huh. Interesting, interesting. Let's get some Google up here. And game capture, I can leave that out for now. And remove that one. See if I explode anything. There we go. Get some YouTube up there. Interesting. Look at that. Sorry, my apologies finding the humor in this here. My own live video promoting myself to me. Interesting. Let's look at some numbers. Oh, right in YouTube Studio. You know, and you get so much support for that initial day or week or whatever it is with the sub for sub. But yeah, it doesn't take long and then it just dries up. You know, and that's funny you mentioned that you get a lot of their comments or you find a lot of their comments in the spam. My spam filter, I don't know, maybe it's just YouTube is broken or something, but it doesn't really seem to catch anything. Yeah, isn't that the truth? Humor is very much needed. So, for people that don't know what impressions are, this is how many times somebody is seeing anything to do with my channel, thumbnails and so on, for at least 15 seconds on their screen, on their phone or whatever. And this is per day here, how many impressions I'm getting. Now, I've been ignoring my channel for about a month now, just out of, breaking up with YouTube anger. But that's not much at all. That's not many times a day that I'm being shown. But the sad thing is, these kind of numbers here, that's not too different from what I get. Let's go back 90 days here. You can see there's certain days that I just get these huge spikes, but almost every time that I get a huge spike or an increase is because I had just released a video or two at that time. Like here, there's this big anomaly here, which was very cool. But that is from, yeah, middle of May, end of May. This is from two different channels promoting the heck out of me, which brought me a lot of subscribers, which brought a lot of traffic. So that's what that anomaly is there. But see, every single time I got a spike in my impressions, just because I happened to upload a video. And so now you see, without that, it's almost flatlined. It's just, for somebody, trying to grow, it's almost like they work against you. But sadly, even if we look, let's look over the last year here. You can see whether I'm active or not, I'm making pretty much the same, it's the same story, whether I'm uploading or not, whether I'm actively engaging on this platform or not. 118, 392, 233, Yep. Now, for some people, maybe they're getting thousands of impressions a day, maybe they're getting 2,000, 5,000 impressions a day. That can be very good. Now, one thing that is something that's handy is your click-through rate. So, I think the easiest way just to look at that, and we'll just bring this back. Let's go the standard 28 days. So the click-through rate is when the viewer sees your thumbnail, sees it on the screen, and they're actually clicking and then watching that video. They're following that through. So like just lately here, I had a excuse me here, 0%, 2.6%, 2.3. This is just in this last month I've been ignoring my channel. 8.4, you can see it's all over the map. But when you're not getting anything but, barely even peanuts for your for your impressions, your click-through rate doesn't matter. Now, if you are getting 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 impressions a day, and you're getting like 6%, 10% higher click-through rate, you're doing good. You're doing really good. That means people are liking your titles, they're liking your thumbnails, and that might be all you have, right? Maybe YouTube's not promoting you, but you get some really catchy thumbnails and titles. People might go for it, right? So let's go back now, and you see here, the click-through rate really doesn't mean anything, honestly, because even when I'm active on here, I'm still getting this same kind of click-through rate. So that shows that whether I'm active on here or not, the impressions and click-through rate are almost identical. Let's look at views in the last 28 days. You can see from the last time I had a video, June 8th, got 47 views that day. It's been pretty dismal since then, but I also haven't been active on here, right? Haven't been releasing anything new. But go back 90 days. You can see there are some spots, and it will be higher obviously on the days that you release a new video. Okay, interesting. So that's not too shabby at all. Not too bad at all. And, with you saying now that you're up that 50% in particular with the Facebook ads, maybe that's going to help you. Maybe that's really going to help you. Yeah, it's always a good idea when you're doing different things like that and running those kind of experiments, whether it is promotions or these different, campaigns and stuff, or maybe even collaborating with another creator. Look at your impressions and so on, and see how that compares over a week, 2 weeks, 3 months and stuff. Apparently, a 6% or higher click-through rate is supposed to be the magic number. I don't know. I really don't know. But if all of a sudden you notice you do a certain thing to your video, a certain title, a certain font in your thumbnail, a certain thumbnail style, and all of a sudden your click-through rate and your impressions shoot up in that one day, then you know for sure, okay, there's my secret formula that will make your channel better, right? Because we can't rely on magic. We can't rely on luck. We can't rely on the algorithm. Just the skinny of it, right? But yeah, you can see here, without me basically forcing videos out and squeezing lemonade, not getting much reviews at all, right? So this is showing you that even though I've got content out there, it's not being shown to anybody. And a lot of people, let's say, you're one of the people that's been subscribed to me for a long time, you've seen all these videos, so why would you want to go back and keep watching them, right? Once you've watched it, what's going to keep you coming back watching something 10 times? Excellent. That's very good that you've had days of 6%, because apparently that's the magic number for click-through rate is 6%. I don't know for sure, but apparently. For me, I get such crap impressions. I don't know. As you can see here, over the last year, my views have been anywhere from 92 in a day to 1 to 18, kind of just all over the place, 60s, 70s. Now, this last month here is kind of erroneous, but yeah. But yeah, if you all of a sudden have one really good thing that takes off, a certain title, maybe you have just one video in particular that just keeps getting hits, people just keep coming back to it. Maybe you've got a really good thumbnail on it or something. Interesting. Yeah, it's been very good. This has been really awesome that I just happened to go on. I had this one person in particular, Daniel, that he'd been commenting and watching so much of my comment, I had to get back on here. I had to reply to the comments that I missed, and I've missed out on everyone else's content while I've been on strike or whatever. That's too bad, That's too bad that us creators though are having such a bad go with this. It really is. But maybe you've maybe you found the secret formula, right? Maybe the genie in the lamp is to try and promote on these other platforms, and cross the reference the platforms. Let's just see here. Over um, since I started, so that would be 28, I think, 28th of April. I think. There we go. So that shows you exactly how it's been for the whole time that I've been creating. Watch time. So here's something that's good though, is over time, not many people were putting much viewing time into my videos. They'd probably watch a minute of it or less, and that would be it. So over time, my watch time has gone up dramatically, which is great. That's really cool. And of course, subscribers are going to go up, more up than down, which is good. Just the odd, up, down, up, down, up, down, but at least there's been some positive growth in that area. Excuse me. But when you look at impressions, it's not too good. You kind of have from September on and previously, those are basically the same either way. But yeah, this is just something maybe people have never really looked at YouTube Studio before. There's a lot more you can go into. They have this whole advanced mode, which is just the same as clicking on see more, and you can see a whole bunch. See, and that's just it. So when you're making a video and you want to make a video that you're happy with, that you feel is the proper way to do the content and so on, and if you only make it 2 minutes long, but you're not happy with it, what's the point? So you've got to make the videos for yourself. You've got to make the content for yourself, as well as balancing for the viewer as well, of course. But if you have a certain amount of detail that you want to put into the video, and maybe you want to put an audio overlay into it, you want to put some music into it and stuff, you've got to have an X amount of room to be able to do that. That is for sure. And sometimes just trying to cram everything down and cut, it doesn't leave you with much at all. So then you start getting expensive recording equipment, and you get expensive editing software, and all that time and effort goes into it, and you hope that you get something out of it, right? For me, it's just I'd like to have the growth of my channel and the connection and the networking of people. But for anyone that wants to make a buck at this, you're putting so much time and money into it and getting not even peanuts out of it, honestly. It's too bad, really. Do I have a quick link for Socialblade? I thought I did. Maybe not. Socialblade. You can see recent things. Speed test. Let's run a speed test just because I'm a nerd like that. Yeah, exactly. So, sorry, my nail's bugging me. Look at me with my etiquette while I'm on camera. Well, that makes perfect sense. Meanwhile, anybody watching the replay is going to be like, what the heck's he talking about? Just shooting the shit while I let my speed test run here. Just having a nerd moment. Ooh, look at them promoting. Okay, good. Just had to be all nerdy like that. Now, I don't know how many people know about Socialblade. No, yeah. This can be very handy, very similar to what we were just looking at with YouTube Studio. Kind of just gives you a condensed version. One of the handy things about it, well, it gives you all kinds of information right off the hop here, right? But the live subscriber count is very handy, because then you can see it refreshes every second. You can see exactly what your subscriber count is. I've been very lucky with my internet provider. I I have tried another one that was over the phone line, which my friend actually uses, and she loves their service. But that's just, it's too funny that you know here I'm using one, she's using the other, and we have such, oh, Shaw is better, Telus is better. A lot of people, they have had very bad luck with their internet connections lately. Maybe just lots of people at home with all the pandemic and everything. It could be, I guess. But yeah, that's the live. You can also see things like detailed. So, let's see here. Where's one of the easier ones that you can see? Total subscribers. I think this is probably the best one. So you can see over time, like, getting total video views, getting total subscribers. It looks great on there, but in the big picture, I'm only number user summary out of all those numbers. That's not very good placing. Like, yeah, grade C, even out of my country, not doing the greatest, that's for sure. And then when you look at similar channels, this is where it gets really weird. So we're going to look at by subscriber count. So here I am around 259, and but then I guess if a lot of people on that 4G network are also on there at the same time, that could really cause a bottleneck then. I've heard a lot of complaints in certain areas where they have these unlimited packages and everybody's on there nonstop streaming, Netflix, whatever it might be, and it just really bogs down the high speed. I'm not sure. I'm very lucky to have such a good, fast, and strong internet connection that even with things going, to still, um, you know, well, and it doesn't even really crash or anything, but to still have such a strong connection and such a fast connection too. I feel very lucky with that. That's for sure. Especially these last few months here that everyone else has been cratering. Yeah, I've seen it a lot with online gaming as well. You get these people that their characters basically like teleporting around because their connection's so badly affected by everyone around them. It's really quite interesting here when you look that here's this one neighbor doing games. They have a similar view and subscriber count, but everyone else, like, what the heck? They have a lot more views than I do, that's for sure. It does bog it down. Isn't that a bummer? So then we look and compare my channel by views. You're looking at most people with the number of views I'm getting. It doesn't even work. For my grade, the number of views, I'm only at like what 8,000 views, 9,000 views, whatever. It's sad. It really is. It's just like, what's the point in carrying on, right? And you look at by my Socialblade rank, people with half the subs, a bazillion more views, not doing too good, that's for sure. And then you can look at the future predictions, which they even give you an error rate. So right here it's saying that they have an error rate of 9.2 and 8.8%. They're saying in a couple months I'll be at 312. 198 days I'll be at 500. But even if I stay on there every day and I'm, just non-stop, for a while there, I was on way too much on YouTube and, sometimes over 12 hours a day, and it got me nowhere. I am basically getting the same results, that's for sure. That is for sure. Now, for those that are watching now, oh shoot, I covered that up. Anyhow, and anyone that's watching the replay here, let's go back this way. And YouTube. Oh, and I want to do something here, just to let everybody know This is who I've been talking to this whole time here. She's been our #1 guest here on the live stream show. On my, I'm gonna quit. I don't know if I'm quitting. I don't know. Maybe I'll stick around. I don't know. Ooh, wow, I've missed a lot of good stuff on your channel. Oh wow, look at everything I missed. Yeah, I've got a lot to go through and catch up on all my favorite channels. Well, and look at this here. Like, some of these people aren't creating anymore. But all these people that I subscribe to. It's a lot of content that I'm missing out on. Well, I've been mad at YouTube. And they're the ones that are suffering, right? I'm just wanting to see something here. Let's, like this. Wow. So it's like you're going along, let's say you got like a 45-degree incline, you get to 1,000 subs, and then it's just flat lines. That's a bummer. You go like 10, maybe even 20 subscribers a day just to maybe 0. That's got to take the wind right out of your sails. What a bummer. Okay, very cool. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my channel, because I just want to see. Oh, very good. Because it should, every time that someone comes to my channel, it should give you a different order to who it shows on here. And that's something that I got to go through as well, and get rid of anybody that's not creating anymore, and just have the people that are currently creating. Okay, okay. So here, we can go back out of that. So, and this is the one, 106 views. So, let's see here. Ariella's videos. 106.41. Just doing a quick scan here. Interesting. Yeah, that looks like you're actually getting some really good numbers here in just 3 days. Wow. Decent. Very decent. Beef brisket. Oh, I love beef brisket. Absolutely love it. Very cool. Now I'm trying to remember. There's one that I saw. Oh shoot. The 3-in-1 coffee. I really like this one. Now, my apologies if levels and that aren't proper. I just wanted to get into this one here for a second. Look at me getting all over the place. This is going to be the wackiest live stream. Mind you, every one of my live streams is all over the place. I can't remember now. There was something in here that really caught my attention, though. Oh yeah, it was this particular coffee. Just that bag there. I was looking up the coffee, and I found some, and it wasn't available though. It was sold out, or not in stock at the time, or whatever. But I'm definitely going to be trying this coffee. This is the way my memory works, right? The label, the packaging. So I'm definitely going to have to be trying some of this, because that looks like very, very good coffee. Excellent. And my monitors, I've got twin monitors here, and they can only do 1080, unfortunately. But here's, for anyone that's interested, her videos are available in very good resolution, 2160p. So now, right now, you're seeing me on an old Microsoft LifeCam, which can only do 720p. My current display is 1080 at 60 frames per second, is what my output is. Now, this might not make much of a difference because of all of these factors in between, but you can actually, on Ariella's videos, we'll do some advertising for you here, you can actually do 2160. You can do 4K. Now that is amazing. That is very good, folks, especially like you get into doing some of this outdoor stuff that you've got. Let's back up a second here. Like this one here. Oh, this was a very good one. And now it might not show up very good. Like, I don't really see much of a difference on my end because my monitors can only do 1080. But it does make it a little bit sharper and so on. A little more depth of image and all that. That's for sure. You know, this is really cool. Like, I don't see any kind of trees like this here. That is very cool. And now, maybe those trees are very commonplace.
Hi everybody.
Very, very common. Sorry, so we're not competing for... Let's turn that down a minute. Upload and film everything. Oh, wow. So, does that take up a lot of memory on your device? Like, you must have to have quite the memory capacity to film everything in 2160. Wow. Because, like, even at 1080, you know, 1920 by 1080, we're looking at, what, 100 megabytes a minute, if not more? That's for sure. Yikes. Oh, look at this now. The connection's buffering. What a joke. Thanks, YouTube. Way to ruin the experience. There, let's try and get to there. Maybe it's because I'm streaming and all this back and forth, it's making the platform cry. But yeah, these trees that are just so cool looking. Nothing like that here. That is neat. What if I just accidentally full screen that? There we go. Those are cool. Very, very cool. Oh, wow. Yeah. Having a 128 gigabyte SD card. That is definitely got to be essential for recording in 2160. Wow. Very cool. Yeah, I just wanted to do a little plug, and for anybody that's watching that is able to, you know, crank their monitors up and get some good resolution, I hope that you're seeing this even better now at 2160 and 4K. That's very cool. So earlier you had mentioned birch trees, and I was kind of rambling about a place I used to live in. Google Earth would probably be just fine for that. Let's see here. Come on, Google Earth. Go to the other side. So there's this house I owned. Right, speaking of paying for an editing app, I use HD Movie Maker Pro. And this, it only cost me $11. It was on sale. Got it from the Microsoft site. But I'll tell you what, that is worlds apart from using any other free editing app out there or program. It definitely makes a difference when you have some decent editing software. Something that is, you know, not just easy to use, but it'll give you good results too, and, you know, give you that nice professional look. Makes a big difference. That is for sure. Yeah, the one that Walt uses, holy cow, it's like some kind of NASA software or something. So this is the house that I used to own. This one here. Nice big place, kind of like a wedge shape to the yard. Nice big garage and everything. Really liked it. That's my man cave. So now, how can we go about doing Street View? Maybe I drag to enter Street View. Yeah. There we go. Check out these trees. If I can get it all in frame here. So unfortunately the one in the backyard, because the previous owner didn't take care of it, had to be taken down. In shot. Okay, interesting. Oh. The different Street View frames are being silly. Crazy neighbor's place. This guy, the damn front yard was dirt the entire time I lived there, and then the last few months before I sold, he finally put sod down. Crazy bugger. This person here, though, she's cool. So this here is a birch, a big, you know, weeping, hanging birch, whatever you call it. I can't remember what this tree is here. This one's a mountain ash, and I think that she had the willow. But sometimes trees can trick me. Like, I remember one day Walt was asking me something about aspen, and I guess aspen versus birch are very very similar. This street view shot here, let's see, 2014, May 2014. This is just before I moved. Well, as you can see, it says sold there. Yeah, this is just my last days of this place here. The nice manicured lawn. But yeah, this is very last days that I was there. Oh, the memories. So touching. This was my place. I thought they were supposed to blur that stuff out. Anyhow, that's my realtor. Call her up. This place, though, it was old. It was like, something like 1942 it was built. Completely redid the basement. The front yard pretty much kept it as is from when it was that, but redid the basement, redid the backyard. Lots of work, though. Lots of snow to shovel in the summer. Or, I mean, the winter, sorry. Lots of grass to cut in the summer, front and back and all that. Alright, cool. Exit street view. Exit, exit. Oh, come on now. Get up there. There we go. Yeah, that was the house I lived in. And this was really nice. Having the nice big green space out front. That was very cool. And not far at all to get to the river. There's this little spot here. You could just pop out the back alley and right down between the houses to the river. But also, you take these different trails depending on which way you want to go to get around. All these white lines here, Mascapatoon Park. So you got this nice walking trail system. Excuse me. This nice walking trail system so close to home. That was very cool. That was my favorite thing about living there, was being that close to the river and so on. There, trip down memory lane on Oddstone Green. But that's my place, or was my place. Oh, cool. Yeah, give me an address or a city or whatever, and we'll see if I can find it. I do remember you're in Australia. Oh, there's something like 300 kilometers of trails around Red Deer that are paved or shale, that are maintained by the city. It's very cool. But yeah, I just can't remember what part you're in there, but I could definitely try and find it on the Google here. I think we might have looked up the city that you're in ages ago there, but I can take a gander. Last of the Polar Pop. Okay. See if we can find it here. Oh wow, is that a canal in the back? Or am I just seeing things here? I don't know, maybe that's just a nice patch of grass or something. Very cool. Here, let's get down, where's the little street view, dude? That's a really cool boulevard, too. Huh. Look at me getting all nerdy with the boulevard. Ah, they're all going the wrong way. See, that's the silly thing is, it looks so weird to me. It's like when I was walking in England and you're walking face to face. Oh, Canuck Creek. Or Canuck Creek. Look at me butchering names. You're walking face to face, and as in England, right? So they're the same, right away, left way, whatever you want to call it. I'd move to my right, which is normally how you would get around people here, but they're moving to their left. And lots of bumping into people in England, that's for sure. Silly me. Very cool. Those are actually really neat places. It's not, we don't really see much of that here, having the front yards fenced in. Very rare here. And that's actually very neat. Very cool. That's a quaint little auto. I'm just gonna bump down the street for a second here and get some different views. That's cool. Very, very cool. Oh, that's all top secret there. Neat. Here, I'm gonna pop out a street view and look from the top again. So that's the creek there. Oh, wow. That is neat. Huh. Cool, cool. And then this here looks just like maybe just a walking only bridge. And then some paths. Okay. Very neat. But yeah, so let me jump in all over here like a kangaroo. Get back down into street view here. That's cool. Neat, neat, neat. That's just, sorry I'm nerding out on all these different things here. Just very different from here, right? Having the fenced in front yard. Let's see, nice little eatery. Look at that, you're just in the prime location. That's cool. Very, very busy city, or is it much going on there? Here it's 100,000 people, so it's not very crammed in. Lots of urban sprawl. To me, it doesn't feel like 100,000 people. A lot of people, especially in these last few months here, just keeping to themselves, right? So the trails don't get very crowded or anything. That's very cool. Roof systems too. Wow, so different from here. Very different. That's neat. Cool, cool. Okay. Now I'm jumping around here and we got about a minute separation, so I'm going to try not to screw this up. But, here. Now I know that I've seen some neat views when, you take, shoot, I'm in this weird angle here. There we go. Just wanted to zoom out for a second here. That is so cool. 200,000. Oh, wow. So this is that view that you give us when you're looking out into the bay or the ocean there. That is so cool. Nothing like that here. You know, we got some lakes and stuff, but yeah, that is very cool. So you got this nice creek that you can go along, and then all this nice beach area here. That is cool. And then this here, you got a whole park area. Foreshore Reserve, wow. This is neat. This kind of reminds me of an area here called Gull Lake where you've got this road that goes along, and then all of a sudden, you know, there's all the cabins and everything, but just this nice big section of trees where there's nothing, just nobody interfering with nature. That's exactly what this part reminds me of right here. So then, of course, yes, you do have something on this side of the road. That is so cool. It's like a flashback to Gull Lake there. Very neat. Wow. Almost endless beach line. Very cool. So here, if you wanted to get across the creek, you can just go over yonder. Oh, cool. That's just too easy. Makes it easy to have a beach day, that's for sure. Here we've got Sylvan Lake is the closest lake. It doesn't get very hot here, you know, so on the day that is nice and hot out, it's nice to go hit the beach, but then so is everybody else, right? Everyone else is there bombarding the beach at the same time. That is cool. Wow, that's a lot of beach line that you got there. Holy moly. Let's see. That's neat that you're so close to that reserve as well. Let's go, not this place mark stuff. ruler. Nice. We'll do kilometers. Path. We'll go from like right about there. Just doing a quick measure here. Look at that. It's like 15 kilometers of beach line just in that area alone. Very cool. That's neat. See, and that's just it. There's so many people that have said that exact same thing. You know, they get their sanity, they get their health, they get their rejuvenation from being out in nature. You know, for me, with my neck and back and these nerves and everything all being all haywire, getting out as much as I can, even if it's just for a quick walk around or something like that, it's so much better instead of being just cooped up and just stuck inside, right? And just being able to go for a walkabout and wander through this nice little bit of nature here, get away from all the crazies. That's got to be very nice. Wow. So now, is there any? There's no way that anybody can develop this. I'm guessing. Like this has got to be permanently protected so that nobody can build on it or anything. That's very neat. That definitely would give you some solace and everything, and having nothing but, well, I guess a little bit of traffic and people this way, but you got the ocean rolling and the tide rolling in. That'd be very nice. Lots of nice walking trails in there. That's cool. Or lots of distance of walking trail, I should say. Very nice. Yeah, a good friend of mine, he's got a lot that's gone wrong in his life, and getting out in nature, that's what that's what keeps him going. That's what resets him. Keeps him sane, keeps him alive. That's for sure. What is this here? Oh, very cool. Totally different architecture from here, that's for sure. Jumping around here following the waterways. That is cool. So now if we center back over where you are. Okay. Wow, that is quite the area. Hmm. One bay there, right? Okay, makes sense. And then what are we close to here? Wow, that is cool. So different from where I live, that's for sure. Nice. This is neat to be able to see now exactly where all those videos take place. Especially like that view, like any time that you've got it just looking off the beach into the bay there. You know, it's like I've never been on the Atlantic water. I've flown over the Atlantic several times, but to be on the Pacific there, whether down in the San Diego, LA area, like Southern California, Oregon, Washington, where my mom grew up and her family is. Well, some of her family was then, and I had an uncle that lived in the Vancouver area, so like Vancouver, and then visiting some friends some years ago in Victoria and stuff like that, and you look out and it's just endless water, endless sea, all the way to the horizon. It's amazing, and so seeing that in your videos there, now I can kind of see how that is. I wonder if we can put the little, depends on where the Google car in that got to. Can we street view anywhere around here? It's just going to be a rendered image. Okay. But there is, where did I see that here? For the street view. Looks like they drove down the end of this here. Cool. The Google car went on a little dead-end adventure here. Ah, there we go. See? That's something that I haven't seen in a long time. than, that you don't get to see here in Red Deer. I might have the Rocky Mountains, I might have all kinds of trees and this and that. I don't have a bay here though. That is cool. Or even, an ocean or something. And then the Southern Ocean, right? Tasmania. Like the Tasmanian Devil on Looney Tunes. There, I'd like to thank the Google car for giving us this view of the bay here. Thanks, Google car. Exit street view. So if we pop up for a minute here. And oh, it looks like they went down a few of these here. Okay. This is cool. Oh, we got a warning sign there. Nice. That's very cool. Great. Well, this is neat. See, for me, I'm always resetting the map to the north, but I don't know if that even really makes a difference here. I'd think having it like this here. There. That looks better. Right. I always wondered that, if that was actually a real animal. Well, now I know. Look at me getting all edumacated today. Oh, that's really cool. It's very cool. That is neat. So what is that? Is that just... Okay. Just the way the satellite can actually see down through the water to the where it's not so deep. Very cool. So, like you say, just south of you, we orientate this just straight north. Oh, and there's Tasmania. Right, okay. Oh, I see. So a lot of parks and everything there. Interesting. Cool. It's very interesting just how sparse Australia is. It reminds me a lot of Canada, just, ice and snow and, Canadian Shield versus hot and desert. I remember this documentary about a prison, and the prison is somewhere in Australia where they don't even really have to worry about anyone trying to escape because it's like 2,000 kilometers in any direction from that prison. It's not going to be easy to escape, that's for sure. That is just so neat how remote all that is. Just everything's just basically around the edges and that's it. Way too hot in the middle. Interesting. Well, try and get around here. Look at me sloppily globing. Whoa, that got weird. Come on, planet. So much desert. Yeah, and see, it's like I guess I should zoom out for a second here. Just like you get into northern Canada, there's so much here. It goes all the way up to the North Pole. But you can only live in so much of that, Like, there's Alert, which is kind of a town, a military base. I guess I'll have to search that, but where is that? Yeah, right there. Further, most northern place in the world or whatever. But in between Alert and here, there's only so many places you can live. Even in the mainland areas, it's very barren, very remote. It's basically a desert, just not hot and dry, just cold and dry and barren. There's cities and so on, but they're very spread out. You know, like where's the top edge of Alberta here? Great Slave Lake. You know, like it's all basically just wide open. And you can see a lot of this is also water, so you can't just put a city on top of water. Nome is in Alaska. You know, it's funny with the TV shows and stuff when they make you think that like Deadliest Catch is so far north. Here in Red Deer, we're 52 point whatever degrees north, and so like you follow the line around here, you can see the Bering Strait isn't too far off where Red Deer is. That's for sure. 'Cause here's Red Deer way up here. So Nome, Alaska. Let me show you that exactly here. I think they're further north though than all those other ones, like Dutch Harbor and all that. Yeah, they're way further north than Dutch Harbor. So there's Nome, and Dutch Harbor is way down here. So when you watch the show Deadliest Catch and they're like, "Whoa, we're in the Arctic Circle," Red Deer's further north than where Deadliest Catch is. But they're out. Oh goodness, look at me, foolish with the measuring tool. They're in some very bad like weather as far as that goes. So Nome, Alaska, I've got all the MGRS, Military Grid Reference System, all these numbers and squares and all that. But what we can do is right click on that because I don't have coordinates until I do this maybe. There we go. They are 64.47, so they're almost at the Arctic Circle, because the Arctic Circle is something like, what, 66 degrees? They're north. They're way further north than Red Deer is, that's for sure. So, compared to Alert or the North Pole, they're very far north, but there's not many places that are further north than Nome, that's for sure. You know, like Ketchikan, oh shoot, whatever all those other places are along here. Like, between Nome and you look at like where all the Deadliest Catch stuff happens, like all that show is filmed, that's a huge difference, right? Like if we take the ruler here and we'll just go as a crow flies here. Imagine you're in a helicopter. Right, that's 1,500 kilometers. That's almost 1,000 miles right there. You know, that's a big difference. Yeah, Nome is very far north. That's for sure. But now, if I correct the north here, so you got your exact geographic North Pole. Alert is right up close to it at about 88 degrees. There'd be 90 degrees. And there's Nome. So you can see there's still a lot more land to go further north, but there's not many places that people live that are that far north. Now if you do go, most of them will be along the coast, so they can be accessible by ship and so on. But there's not much of anything further north than Nome. In Alaska, Yukon, you name it, right? Like oh, there we go. There's the airport here. Some kind of airport. Airstrip, maybe? You know? It's like you get into northern Quebec and so on. Let me back this up here. There's places in Quebec that their highway system, like Alberta, the entire highway system, north, south, east, west, right? There's places here in northern Labrador, because this is Newfoundland and Labrador, but northern Labrador, northern Quebec, the highways don't go there. They like end here kind of thing. I know that there is some road now that you can take. It's not paved all the way, but they finally have a road that connects here. But pretty much anywhere that's around northern Quebec, once again, very, very remote. But you're flying there or you're taking a boat there. There's just really not much once you get that far north, right? These places. No major highways to get to them, that's for sure. They're very remote. And these places here, like, where's that one I just saw back here? This place here is, you know, you're looking at 71 degrees there, or 61 degrees north, right close to the Arctic Circle. Oh, so ice road truckers. Now that's a good point. Is some of these places they might not have a highway, but you might have an ice road getting to them. Now, the very first seasons of that were um, this area here, kind of central Northwest Territories, in this zone here. So you have places that, um, would it be Whitehorse? No, Yellowknife. You get past Yellowknife and there's really not a lot as far as roads. So you can see here's Highway 3, comes down to Yellowknife. So they'd be taking loads from Yellowknife across the tundra, when it's frozen of course, into like Divik and stuff like that. How do you even spell Divik? Look at me, try this here. Right, so they'd be driving across that distance there in the winter. And some of the ice road trucker shows were in Alaska. Same idea, right? Trying to get across these areas that there's no roads or anything. The more recent years, you've got Polar Industries going up against, oh shoot, what was the other one? That big Hugh guy was working, Hugh and the Russian guy. So that would be all based out of Winnipeg. So you can see here, look at even in Manitoba, Ontario, just like in Quebec, their highway system doesn't go north, like their major highways. It's all just along the US border and that's it. So you got these people here, most of those loads were going across Manitoba, and some of them, they're even taking loads from Winnipeg into northern Ontario. Like, where's Churchill? I guess it just, with this thing, it can be easier to search it. There's a rail line that connects all across Manitoba all the way to Churchill, but they also have a seaport as well. But sometimes that rail line gets damaged, and the only other way to get there, if you're not flying, if you're not taking a boat to Churchill, is ice roads. If that rail line's being washed out or damaged from flooding and so on, because it's all just remote in between. They got things like St. Teresa Point. I can't remember all the other names of the places that are on that show, but most of the more current ones would be pretty much all northern Manitoba. There we go. So that's just one of the routes that they would take to get from Winnipeg with their load from Polar headquarters to St. Teresa Point. Let's just see here. What kind of distances were those guys doing? Even if they could drive a straight line, which we know they can't, you know, they're doing like 500 kilometers. Oh, and to give you an idea, so you can visualize it on the map here, let's look up the Arctic Circle. Mm-hmm. So this is basically the Arctic Circle here. Something like that. That shows you how far north the Arctic Circle is. And you get some of these things like that deadliest catch, which they are in some very brutal waters and so on, but they're talking about being up in the Arctic, and it's like they're very far, right? Very far up, away from the Arctic Circle. When, I'm further north where I live than they're filming. But yeah, Arctic Circle is way up there. Let's clear that path. So you're looking, if you fly from Red Deer to the Arctic Circle, 1,500 kilometers north of here, if you were just to fly there. 1,500 kilometers straight that way. Such a vast country. It mind boggles me just to think that, we're going all the way from, where's the furthest south here? We're something like 42 degrees or something. Let's see here, somewhere down in that area. 48 point whatever degrees, I guess. Yeah, 42 degrees. There we go. 42 degrees. In southern Ontario, all the way up to the North Pole. And it's just empty. Like, we don't have a lot of people here. Not many at all. It's a huge country. Come move here. Come be the neighbors. Come be the new neighbors. That's anyone that has an issue with immigration in Canada, they must have rocks in their head, because we have lots of room. Even if we've got to reinvent a way to live, maybe invent some geothermal heating or, some magic heating of some kind, there is tons of room to grow in Canada. Second largest country, 35 million people, whatever it is. We've got lots of space here. Tons of space. Lots of room to grow. It's 90% of the population is within 100 miles of the U.S. border. Ariella, if you've seen Tom, the East Grand Woodsman, he's up somewhere here in northern Maine, and this is actually a really funny state, because they're completely surrounded. Well, not completely. Almost completely surrounded by Canada. But yeah, he's somewhere up in northern Maine there. He's got a nice chunk of land. Friend on YouTube here, Daniel, he's up in Maine, if I remember right. Here's a really funny thing. I was just showing my dad this recently. This is actually something I learned from Ice Road Truckers, from that show. I'd see it on the map, and I'd be like, why do they have this squiggle here? So I did some research into that, and from different surveys and that, and back in the day, well before they had satellites or anything to properly align things, it was written, wasn't so much surveyed, that they said, like, okay, everything on this side of the lake is US, everything over here is Canada, and they ended up chopping a chunk out of the US. So to keep it all congruent and keep these people that live in this area United States citizens, they moved the border around those people to correct it. 42 degrees north, isn't that extreme? Right. See, isn't that interesting, right? Like, it's not too far north. It's not even halfway to, that's this area right here. I'll just put a dot there. Right, that's only 42 degrees north right there. That's it. That's not even halfway between the equator and the North Pole. Like where I live here is, get that a little better there. Red Deer. Come on, you silly thing. We're 52.2, so 52 and a quarter degrees from the equator to the North Pole. Yeah, much further north than some other places, that's for sure. A lot of the border, though, the straighter part of it is all the 49th parallel, 49 degrees north. Yeah, but Dutch Harbor is where Deadliest Catch is filmed, and they always hype it up in pretty much every show. They say, "Oh, we're up in the Arctic Circle, close to the Arctic," you know. So they're in an extreme area. They get extreme weather. It's brutal. People have died fishing there. There is a boat that got so many waves, so much moisture up on top, all their wrecks, all the crab, what do they call those things? Crab pods, whatever. The traps were up on the deck. The boat actually flipped over. They all died, which is tragic. Now the only thing is, this isn't a super far north place. I'm 52 and a quarter degrees north, and so now if we look at this here, let's reset that. They're only 53.8, so they're not much further north than Red Deer is, right? Pretty much the same distance north of the equator in Dutch Harbor. But that's where they all station out of. That's where all the boats come out of. And if I remember right, they somewhere, I don't think they go around these islands at all. I think they go straight east or west, basically. Yeah, and the way they hype up the show, you'd think like they're way up in the Arctic, right? But yeah, they go pretty much just straight west here. They, I don't think they get close to Russia at all. Just this area here where it's really deep, though. And if I remember right, Mike Rowe does the narration of Deadliest Catch, unless they've got someone else doing it now. That Mike Rowe's a pretty cool guy, though. But yeah, places that are really far north, that are in the Arctic or close to the Arctic, you're looking at Nome, Alaska, Alert. That's about it. There's not many places that are much further north than those, that's for sure. Or as remote. There's actually a spot, I was telling Walt about it not too long ago, where Canada and Denmark have this little, not really a war, but this, claim going on. This Hans Island here, Hans Island, it's right in the middle. So the Canadian soldiers will go there. They'll put up a Canadian flag, discard I don't know if it's from Greenland or, Denmark itself. Whatever flag is up there, though, they'll discard it and put up a Canadian flag. Then Danish or not Danish, whoever it is that comes over from Greenland side here, as far as their armed forces, they come over to the island, they scrap the Canadian flag and back and forth. But this is a contested island here that both Canada and Denmark via Greenland fight over, this very island here. Well, not fight, but let's see here. Yeah, 80 degrees north, so north of the Arctic Circle, but interesting. It's north of the Arctic Circle, but right in the middle, so it's contested. I guess you could call it like a friendly war, right? But just so much room here for people to come and move and get a better life. Not all crammed in like in the U.S., that's for sure. And I know that I've talked about the mountain many times, but I really want to get back up all stones. I've got high hopes here that these doctors will get me all fixed up, and I'll get up there. There's another one I was looking at recently, this Mount Michener here. Oh, there it is, yep. On the south side of Abraham, or Abraham Lake, Lake Abraham, whatever you want to call it. And then what's this one here? Abraham Mountain? Okay. And then here's All Stones here. I really want to climb this again. And that cool lake and everything that's up there. So I'll tell you what, You, Walt, anyone that wants to come and meet me here, you want to do some cool, YouTube party or something in the Rocky Mountains? If I need a wheelchair, if I need to get towed up there, if I need to have a helicopter come plop me at the top, I'm going to find a way to get back up that mountain one of these days here. I'd like to just hike right up it, but all depends what the doctors can do to help me, to actually do a journey like that again. It's been over 10 years now since the last time I went up there. It's something like, let's plot a path here. Something kind of like this is how you get up there. You get up to the lake, and then here's the hardest part here, is getting up that last little bit. It's like, it's interesting when people talk about like the Appalachians and certain areas. Some of their mountains only go up to like, let's say 1,000 feet above sea level, or like 330, meters or whatever it is above sea level. They don't get very high. Like this here is like what, 1,000 meters, 3,000, 7,000. I can't remember how many feet. I have to look that up, of course. But Allstones is a massive, massive, as far as elevation goes, right? And it's not even a big mountain compared to the Rocky Mountains that are to the west of it. But that's basically what you need to do to climb Allstones. Well, to hike it. You don't need any special gear or anything. But wouldn't that be cool, right? Get a bunch of YouTubers together, or creators, and make a collaborative video, hiking up there. That would be pretty damn cool. And as you can see, it's not a very far distance to go, even if you got to meander and zigzag and go this way and that, you're probably looking at only 4 to 5 kilometers to get up there. And it's not super technical. It's just this last little bit here. It's so steep, and there's so much loose shale and so on. Like, that's what makes it difficult to get to the peak. But well, here we go. Yeah, look at this here. Here's your elevation here. So it's saying that is 2,100 meters. Yeah, 2,104 is what that's saying there. And so then let's back it up to a couple other peaks in the area, like Abraham. You're looking at 2,700. Look at that. 2,400 there. Just even the lake here, like where you parked to go up Allstones, that is 1,300 meters, above sea level. That's higher than mountains in a lot of places, like in the east, like the Appalachians and stuff. Let's see here. Get into some of these bigger mountain areas here. Like this one here. Klein is 2,700. Pretty much anywhere in BC. Some massive mountains in BC. Oh, Columbia Mountains, nice. I didn't realize that was such a big area for the Columbia Mountains. I'm trying to remember what the tallest point in Canada is. I think it's Mackenzie. I don't know, I could be completely wrong though. I'm pretty sure Mackenzie is the tallest peak, but I don't know. Who knows? Look at how big that whole Mackenzie mountain system is though. It's just massive. McDonald, no. I don't know, there's some that's just a massive, massive mountain. Oh, Nirvana, there you go. Very cool. Interesting. Nerding out on the mountains here. But yeah, so basically, anyone that's watching the replay or jumping around and stuff like that, and huge thank you to you, Ariella, for hanging out with me here. But I can't sit here any longer, dying. But thank you so much, and helping me, and you gave me some very good input there, and what's worked for you and what hasn't, and giving me some ideas on maybe ways I could diversify or try and advertise my channel or something, because we know that we can't rely on YouTube to promote us, and maybe we'll find another streaming platform out there that is, not really political, or doesn't have a narrative or direction that it's pushing people. I don't know. So cross our fingers, right? But thank you very much, Ariella, and thank you to anyone that's watching, or even if you're just jumping through the replay or whatever. This is going to be a long one. This is something like we're at just almost 2 hours here. But yeah, I'm just feeling too buggered up here to keep sitting around. But huge thank you to you, Ariella. You're the rock star today, and Mr. Daniel, he's been, I don't know how many videos lately. He's been catching up and watching them, and that's what I'm gonna have to do with everyone else's channel. Is I'm gonna have to jump in and start catching up on your channels, and maybe we'll all find a better platform one day. But for now, I guess the consensus is, get onto Facebook. Yeah, there we go. Hit me up on Facebook, definitely. But yeah, get on Facebook. Get on Instagram. Well, their link system is stupid. Get on Twitter, maybe. I don't know. Just try and diversify on these social media networks and try and get out there in a way that is going to promote us, that YouTube, when they're not promoting us, at least we'll get ourselves out there. Got to find a way. Thanks so much, Ariella, and thanks to everyone that's watching. Thanks to all the viewers, new and old, and thanks to everyone that subscribed. Take care, everybody.